right? So the question here for number 1 is make L the subject of the formula. Okay, so class, listen carefully, especially if you might have forgotten some basic stuff with manipulation of algebraic um, formula or equations. Okay, so let's have number 1. Okay, okay, so let's have number 1. Okay, so let me write the question again, or write the formula again. P is equal to 2L plus 2B. Okay, so that is 2L. Okay, now the question says that I need to make L, this one, the formula. Okay, I'll just use this marker. This one. How do I do that? Robert? Okay. So basically, class, so what you're trying to do here, remember this class, is you need to put L on one side and put everything on the other side. That's it. That's the main idea there. Okay. So if you want to keep L on the right side of the equal sign, it's fine. Okay. So we just need to put everything uh, on the other side, right? So how are we going to do that? So first, I can simply transpose 2b to the left side. Okay. So what happens? So this is now p minus 2b equals 2l. Okay. Is that clear? So that's what I did there. So I transposed 2b to the left. That's why it's now negative 2b or minus 2b. And then next, I only need L, but I still have 2 here. So how do I get rid of 2? How do I get rid of 2? So basically, I just need to divide both sides by 2, right? So doing so will remove 2 from L. So therefore, your formula here is L is equal to P minus 2B over L. So that's your formula right there. Do you have any question, class?
No.
Wait, this is not L. This is 2. Right, L. Sorry. Okay, there you go. Okay, so that's your answer. Okay, so we have made L the subject of the formula. Okay, so hence, calculate the value of L when P is 132 and B is 30. Now, you can use your calculators here, of course. Calculators are allowed. Okay, so basically we use the same formula. I'm just going to write that again. So P minus 2B over or divided by 2 equals L. So what you need to do is just to substitute this from the given variable. So P is 132 minus 2. What is B? 30, right? Then divided by 2 equals the length. So what is your answer here, class? So 132 minus 60 divided by 2. So your answer is 36. Okay. All right, class. Do you have any other questions? Class? Do you have any questions?
Um.
Nope. No question.
Nope. Okay. 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 Can we go to exercise 6, letter C? Okay. Oops. Sorry. Okay. We'll be jumping back and forth to exercise exercise 6C. Can you go to exercise 6C. And okay, let's answer number 1. Okay, so please answer number 1. Okay, you get a pen and a paper there. Number 1. Number 1. A and C. A and C. Okay, so I'll give you guys 5 minutes. Okay, so these are basic level questions. Okay, by the way, this is on page 158. Okay, exercise 6C, number 1. A and C. Okay, A and C. 5 minutes. Okay, let's see if your answers are okay, are correct. Okay, so again, exercise 6C, number 1, A and C. So let's answer this now. So we got 1A. So class, you need to make the letter in the brackets the subject of the
No,
formula.
sorry, no, one for on number 1 is ax plus by equals k, right? That one.
Yes, yes. And then you need to make y the subject of the formula.
Mm. Wait, what do you mean subject? What do you mean again? Subject of the formula?
That means, okay, just like what I did before here, okay, if I'm given this perimeter formula, making L the subject means everything is equal to L. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, it's like we isolate L on one side of the equation, and then everything else is on the other side. Okay, okay, so that's what it means. Okay, oops, sorry. Okay, 1A and then 1C. Okay, so 1, then this is A. So I got AX plus BY equals K. So we need to make Y the subject of the formula. So this one, let me highlight that, or just draw an arrow. Okay. So how do we do that? Are you guys finished with letter A? I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So no need to send.
If
Okay, I'll
them.
just give you, just mark
Can you
your
do
paper.
it, please? Yeah. Can you like?
Okay, so how do we make y the subject of this formula? Again, the concept here, when they ask you to make the subject, I mean, make something the subject of the formula, in this case, it's y. So we just basically need to isolate y on this side of the equal sign, because here is your equal sign, right? Now in sec 1, that you know that you have your left hand side and then your right hand side here. Okay, so basically I want to keep y on this side and put everything else on the other side. So that's it. That's the main idea there. Okay, so with that, first step that I'm going to do here with this kind of question, uh, I'm going to transpose ax to the other side. Okay, and by that I'll bring down by equals k. And what happens to ax? It becomes minus ax, right? And then, since I want y to be the subject of this formula, of course, I need to get rid of b. How do I get rid of b?
I know.
I cannot transpose b because it's connected to y, right? It's the same as having 3y is equal to 9. How do you get rid of 3? So you divide both
I,
sides by 3. So same here. So you divide both sides here by b, right? Because that's what you're trying to get rid of, right? So b is cancelled out. So that's it. So you have y all alone. So that's y is equal to k minus ax over b. That's your answer. All right. Did you get the same answer, class? Okay. All right. So that's letter A. Now, class, you will use this concept here when you go to, I think, Sec 3 or Sec 4 when you study physics. Okay. So that's letter A. How about letter C? Okay. So for letter C, we have 5b minus 2d equals 3c. And what subject? What should we make? Oh, D. Okay, this one. So how do we do that again?
We did what you did, like switch it or something.
Okay, we transpose 5b.
Yeah, transpose. Yeah,
Okay, but look, you have a negative 2d here. Okay, but it's up to your class, okay?
make
You
it
may
a,
want to transpose it here. I'll just leave negative 2d here. Okay, so, okay, maybe I'll just pattern it with my first example.
okay.
I'll just transpose this here. Okay, so I'll have negative 2d equals 3c minus 5b, right? Okay, and then basically I want d to be the subject, so I'll get rid of negative 2. And how do I do that?
Uh,
I'll divide
divide.
both
Yeah,
by negative.
-2.
Alright, so that's it. So d is equal to 3c minus 5b over negative 2. Okay, okay, that's your answer, class. Okay, okay, do you have any question, class? None? Okay, now let's have a different kind of formula to make. Okay. Now let's go to number 2. Okay. I'll get my questions or my examples from page 158. Okay. So this time, let's have number 2. Okay. Okay. So let's have number 2. Same letter A and letter C. Okay. But this time, we are going to answer number 2. Okay. Okay, again, class, I'm getting my examples from page 158 because the examples from the book are too, what do you call this one? Maybe too advanced right away. So let's not go there. So I'm getting my questions from page 158. So number 2A, so we got here AM. So we now have a division. So let's so sorry A over M equals B plus C. Okay, and then for letter C, we got K plus A over 5 equals 3K. Okay. Now for letter A, what is the subject? Okay, so we will make A the subject of the formula. Okay, this one. And then for letter C, we need to make K the subject of the formula. And how are we going to do that? Okay, look at letter A first. Okay, so let's answer this first. So we get AM or A over M equals B plus C. Now, a while ago, we are dividing this, right? So if we want to get rid of 3, we divide both sides by 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but take a look at this. 3 is beside B. But what if, how do we get rid of M? If it's, let's say, B over 3, how do we get rid of M? Hmm?
A divided by B plus C. Like, how do we get M?
To get M, B plus C.
A divided by B plus C.
Okay, so actually there are two ways. Okay. Okay, so let me help you with the first one. Okay. Okay. So you can multiply this. Okay, wait, let me write it here. So we got AM equals B plus C. So to get rid of M, you can just multiply this
A. Wait.
by M.
Oh,
Both
what?
sides by M, right? So
M with M. Alright.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
A equals B plus C.
And then so that's how I get rid of M. So A is equal to, but I still have M here, right?
Uh, hmm,
So M times B, M times C.
C.
So we got MB plus MC or C or BM or BC. Okay, let me write it like that. So BM plus CM. Okay, so that's your answer. Okay, that's one way. You can also do it like this, class. So the simplest way, okay, do you remember cross multiplication? Okay, so B plus C. Okay, so we just cross multiply this with this because the denominator of B plus C is 1, right? So 1 times A will give us just A, right? And then M times B plus C. Okay, so that's what I'll do here. This is another way. Okay, so M times B plus C. So I got A is equal to M times B plus C. So therefore, my answer is the same, BM plus CM. Okay, okay, so that's number 2, letter A. Okay, so this is a divide. So this is a big OR. Okay, now let's have letter C. Now for letter C, we have K plus A over 5 equals 3K. So we need to make K the subject of this formula. Okay, so I'll just use cross multiplication for this. So I know that the denominator of 3K is 1, right? All right, so I can apply cross multiplication here. So 5 times 3K, and then 1 times this K plus A will just give me K plus A, right? So K plus A equals, again, 5 times 3K will give me 15K. Okay. All right, but take note, class. How many Ks do I have? I have 2, right? I have
Yeah.
one here and then I have one here. Now, the problem is they're on the opposite sides of the equal sign. So class, remember this, that if you have multiple variables, just put them together on one side. Okay, just put them together on one side. Okay, so since I have k on the left and then k on the right, so you can put 15k to the left side, or you can put this k to the right side, as long as they're together on one side. Okay, so for me, okay, I'll just put this on the left side. Okay, so that gives me k minus 15k equals, and then what will happen with a, since I'm looking, I need to make k the subject of this formula, so that means
Negative
k
A.
should be on the other side. So negative a. Very good. Okay, what is k minus 15k? It's negative
Negative 14k.
equals negative a. And
So
how do I get rid of this?
14k equals A.
Okay, so divide by negative 14, right? So what's your answer? So k is equal to a over 14. So that's your answer, class. Okay, do you have any question with letter C?
Wait, sir, let me write it
I
down.
think I can do it.
Mm. All right. Okay, and then last set of, what time is it? Okay, probably this is my last two examples for today. Okay, so I'm going at number 3. What if we
So is that
have
14? Is that 14 or 15? The one that you
14,
crossed out.
or this one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, this one is just negative 14, because k minus negative 15 or minus 15 is negative 14. Okay. All right, so let's go with number 3. Now for number 3, it's almost the same idea, but then you're not given with a root. Okay, how do you get rid of roots? Square roots, cube roots. How do you get rid of those? Okay, so let's have number 3. Question letter A and C. Okay, wait for a while. Let's go with number 3. So you get cube root of h minus k equals m. And then for letter C, we got p is equal to v squared over r. Okay. So let's go with number 3 now. Now, how do we get rid of roots again from my question a while ago? How do we get rid of cube roots, square roots, and such? How do we get rid of this? Because class, for letter A, we need to make H the subject. This one. This is the subject. H. Okay. But the problem here is that we cannot transpose K on the other side right away, because it's still under this sign or root sign. Okay. So before we can transpose K, we should remove this cube root sign. And how do we do that? How do we get rid of the root sign? So basically, let me just write it again. Okay, so cube root of h minus k equals m. So to get rid of that, I just need to raise this side by cube. So doing so, I should also do the same for the other side. Okay, so to get rid of this class, if this is cube root, so just cube both sides. That's it. Okay. Why do I need to cube both sides? Look at this sign. It's an equal sign, correct? So whatever you do on the left side, you also do that on the right side. That's why they are equal. Okay, so if you root this, or cube this, you also cube the other side. So that cancels it. Because class, when you rewrite this cube root sign, this is basically 1/3 in fraction. So 1/3 times 3, that makes it 1. So that cancels the root sign. Okay. So let's have that now. Let's cancel this. So this is cancelled by this. So we now have h minus k equals what? M cubed. Okay, that's it. And then to make h the subject, I'll get rid of k by transposing that to the other side. So h is equal to m cubed plus k. So that's it. Okay, so that's our answer for 3a. Do you have any question, class? For 3a? No question? Okay. So let's have letter C as our last example today. So P is equal to V squared over R. So this is very simple. Okay. And we need to make V our subject, right? Okay. So for this, let me write this again. So, okay, so P is equal to V squared over R. Wait, let me write it properly. Okay, so V squared over R. So first, uh, I will not root this right away because if you get the root of this, that means getting the root of everything, okay, and the fraction. And you don't want to put root here with R. So basically, class, in this type of questions, I'll remove R first on the right side by cross multiplying R with P, okay? Okay, this is over 1, so 1 times V squared is the same. So R times P will give me PR, right?
Yeah.
Equals V
V
squared.
square.
And then how do I get rid of this square? Look at what I did on letter A. So how do I get rid of the root? I cube it. Then how do I get rid of the square? What do you think should I do? So basically you get the square root. It's the opposite of that. Okay. And then if you get the square root of this, you also get the square root of the other side. Okay. So that cancels out the square. So no more square. So you only have V, right? So therefore your answer is V is equal to the square root of the product of PR. So that's it. A. We have this F is equal to 9 over 5C plus 32. So we need to express this and make C the subject of the formula. So here, I just wrote the whole equation again. So first things first, I'm going to transpose 32 to the left side, okay? Because I want C again isolated on this side, okay? I'm keeping this positive. I'm not going to put that on the other side. So what happens here is F now minus 32 equals 9 over 5, then C. Now, how do we get rid of 9 over 5? Okay, so again, if we have fractions, it's the same with the question yesterday, when we have x over 3 equals, let's say, 4. How do we get rid of 3? We multiply it by 3. So, yeah, so x is equal to 12. So same with here. For example, we have, let me have another one. So 2/3 of x is equal to 4. How do you get rid of 2/3? Basically, you multiply this by the reciprocal of 2/3. So that's 3 over 2. Why 3 over 2? So we can cancel out this and this one, right? So we don't have the fraction anymore. So x is equal to 6, right? So it's similar with this. So how do we get rid of 9 over 5? So we multiply both sides by the reciprocal of this fraction, which is 5 over 9, right? So basically, that cancels this and this, 5 and 5. So what do we have left? So we have C is equal to, Okay, so we can express this as 5 over 9 times f minus 32. All right, so that's it. That's your answer for 7, letter A. Do you have any question, class, for number 7, 8? None? Okay, now let's go to number 8, letter B. So here, the problem here is that we have two Z's, two letter Z. Okay, now it says here that we should make the subject Z, which is true, but then we still have Z here. So what should we do when we have two Z's on the opposite sides of our equal sign? So basically, I will put these two Z's together on one side, okay, as long as they're on one side, okay. But then I gotta just simply put this right away on the left side of the equal sign. So what should we do? So basically, you need to expand this first. So doing so, wait, let me write this again. So I'll get y is equal to z minus y over x. So this one, you need to expand this, right? Expand first. So z, because you need to remove the brackets, right? So that gives you yz minus y squared over x, right? Okay. Next is to remove x. So what do? So we just cross multiply this with x. I mean with z. Okay. Now if you cross multiply this, the denominator of z is just 1. 1 times this is just basically the same thing. So x times z is equal to basically x z is equal to yz minus y squared. So we're right here. Do you have any question up to this? Okay, the process? It's okay? All right, so we're now here. So as you can see, class, we have z again on opposite sides of the equal sign. So I'm going to put them together on one side. So I'll get xz minus yz is equal to, let's say, negative y squared. Now, what's next? So if I'm going to extract z from this expression here, so what should I do? So I'm going to look for, okay, for common factors, which is z, right? So z is common, so factoring that, so I'll get x minus y equals negative y squared. So do you have any question on this one? So this is the process. You you factor out z from xz minus yz, and then so you should be getting this after you do that, okay? And then minus yz. Now, if I'm going to make z the subject, I'm going to get rid of x minus y. So I'm going to divide each side by basically x minus y. So this is x minus y. So that cancels this. So z now is equal to negative y squared over x minus y. So that's your answer for, okay, for letter B. Okay, so Sec 2, do you have any question? None? Okay, you sure, yeah? Okay, so last example. Okay, so this one, uh, so we have here y is equal to x minus p squared plus q. Okay, now we need to make x the subject of the formula. But then we encounter this square here. Again, how do we get rid of square? So basically, what's the only way to get rid of this? So basically, we need to get the root of this, right? But then we still need to transpose this first. Okay, so that's y is equal to x minus p squared plus q. So I'm going to transpose q first to the left side. So that gives me y minus q equals x minus p squared. Now, how do I get rid of this? Because I cannot just transpose x or maybe remove p to this side. without removing the square. So to remove this square, I'm going to extract the root of this, and doing so, I'll also do it to the other side. Okay, so that cancels this and the square. So I'm going to have x minus p only, right? Equals, okay, so this one, the root of y minus p. Okay, so my answer here is, my next step is to just transpose p. So my x is equal to, okay, so this is simply y minus p plus p. Okay, so that's your answer for number 8. Okay. Do you have any question, class? No
Wait,
question?
sir, can I screenshot that, please?
I'm going to send this the slides later in our group. Okay, but if you want to, sorry. Okay, so that's number 9. Okay. Then after this, we have like 2 more examples. If you go back to page 157, all right, so there's one more type of question there. It's about equations involving algebraic fractions. Now, I know you have learned this from Sec 1 because we just finished this last chapter with the Sec 1s.
Sir, question for
Yeah.
that question. Yeah, where's the Q? Why is there two P's? P plus P. Yeah, where's the Q?
Oh, this, you mean this? This one? Ah,
Yeah.
so, okay. Okay, I think that's my mistake. All right, so it should be, this one should be Q, right? All right. Thanks, Victoria, for telling me. All right. So this is supposed to be Q, na? Okay, not P. All right, thanks, Victoria. Yeah, all right, so that is Q. All right, thanks. There you go. All right. All right, so it's clear. All right, so here's the Q now. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going back to page 157. I only have 2 more examples here. Now again, you have learned this from Set 1. Okay. So it's just a simple recall. Let's see if you still recall. Okay. So basically, this is about solving for x given algebraic fractions. Okay, so let's have 2 questions. So we got a minus 2 over 5, and then plus, okay, wait, uh, a minus 1 over 3 equals 1. Okay, so how do we solve each of the following equations? So we just basically solve for the value of a. Okay, now, um, but how do we answer this kind of questions? Okay, so basically looking at the left side, so we have these 2 fractions here, right? Okay, so let's find the LCM between 5 and 3. So I think everyone knows that. That's what is the LCM between 5 and 3? It's 15, right? Okay, so it's 15. So 15 divided by 5 is 3, right? So it becomes 3 times a minus 2. So let me write that here. 3 times a minus 2. Then plus. So 15 divided by 3 is 5. So that's why it becomes 5 times a minus 1. Okay. And then, sorry, equals 1. Okay. So after this, what's next? Okay. So I'm going to evaluate this, but at the same time, I'm going to multiply 15 and 1. I'm going to cross multiply that. Okay, because this is 1 over 1. Okay, so again, I'll evaluate this, I'll expand this, and then at the same time, I'll cross multiply 15 with 1. So this is what will happen. So I'll get 3a minus 6 plus 5a minus 5 equals 15. So there's no more fraction, right? Okay, so I think, okay, I hope that's clear. So what's next? Let's solve for a. So 3 plus 5a is, okay, why is it like that? 8a. Okay, so that's 8a. And then I have negative 11 equals 15. So it becomes 8a equals 26, right? Okay, so a is equal to 26 over 8. Okay, so that's my answer. Do you have any question, class? So this is the whole process. So again, this is about solving equations, okay, wherein we have fractions, okay. All right. Now let's go to letter B. Okay. Now letter B, we have 6 over 2b minus 5, and then minus 4. Okay, why is it jumping down? Okay, minus, okay, 4 over b minus 3 equals 0. Okay, so again, we have this fraction here. So what is common between 2b minus 5 and b minus 3? Nothing, right? So what do we do when we don't have any common denominator? Okay, so we just multiply them. So 2b minus 5 and then b minus 3, right? So this one divided by this, so this is cancelled out. So what's left? So it becomes 6 times b minus 3. So 6 times b minus 3, and then minus, so again, this one, 2b minus 5, b minus 3 divided by this. So this gets cancelled. So what's left? So you have 4 times 2b minus 5. So 4 times 2b minus 5 equals 0. So here, I'm going to evaluate this again by expanding. And then at the same time, I'm going to cross multiply this with 0. Okay? So multiplying this by 0 will just give me a 0, right? Because I need to get rid of the denominator. So doing so, I got 6b minus 18 minus 8b, and then plus 20 equals 0. Okay, so again, what happened to this is I cross multiply that with 0. Okay. Last question. What is the denominator of 0 here? What's the number below 0? We always say that all whole numbers has 1 as their denominator. But let me ask you one question. What is the denominator of 0 here? Is it also 0? Or is it 1? Sec 2. Any guess? What do you think? Hmm?
Oh, it's supposed to be 0.
Are you sure? How about
Isn't it?
What?
Like 0
Uh,
times this equals to, yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
What?
uh, sir, isn't it supposed to be nothing?
nothing.
Because if it's 0 and 0, it'll just be infinity, right?
Yeah. Okay. So again, class, even 0 cannot be divided by 0. Okay. So here, basically, your denominator is still, let's say, 1, right? Because 0 divided by 1 is still 0. Actually, it can be any number, but remember class that you cannot divide 0 by 0. You can also try this in your calculator. And it will give you either, I don't know, math error if you divide this by 0. Okay. Math error or syntax. Because syntax is, uh, it shows syntax error if there's a mistake in the arrangement of the formula. Okay. But anyway, so just one tidbit probably. All right. So that's how we get rid of the denominator. So answering this, we'll get 6 minus 8 is negative 2b, and then plus 2 equals 0. So I'll have 2 is equal to 2b, so therefore b is equal to 1. Okay, so that's your answer. Okay. Okay, so sec 2, do you have any question? None? Okay, now let me teach you maybe one shortcut with this kind of questions. Okay. Okay. If you don't want to do this shortcut, it's fine. Okay. So class, the shortcut here, so we don't have to look for the LCM. Okay, when you have this kind of questions, I just cross multiply this and this. Okay, just that. Look at this. If we cover this, okay, so 3 times this is this one, right? And then 5 times this is this one. Okay, so yeah, so that's one shortcut for this. Same with this. Okay, so we don't have to divide and multiply. Okay, so to get rid of this, so just cross this. So that's how I got this. And then this one, I got this. Okay, so we don't have to write this. Okay, that's one shortcut. So doing so, you'll go straight here. Okay, or maybe here, but then you don't have any more denominator here. Okay, so I think that saves time, but it's up to you as long as you don't get confused.